Now, back to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
What's up, NHRA fans? Welcome to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro Podcast. I'm Joe Castello, and we are following up the MOPAR Express Lane NHRA Nationals at Maple Grove, talking about Reading, Pennsylvania. Presented by Pennzoil, it was a great event, yes. It was Maple Grove. We had a little weather. Everybody's like, oh, what's up with the weather? It's like, it's Maple Grove, man. Deal with it. It's going to go away, and everybody's going to have a great time. And that's exactly what we did. We had a great time. It was an epic event. Seconds from now, you're going to hear from the Top Fuel winner, driver of the DHL dragster for Kalitta Motorsports, Richie Crampton, going to join us. But right now, I got to tell you right at the start of the show about our great sponsors, the people who make it all possible, like samtech.edu. And thank you so much for allowing me to tell you about our sponsors, because they're the ones that get the show on the air, honestly. Samtech.edu. Start your education at full speed. But if you're a young person, if you're interested in racing, when I say young, I mean less than 35, right? You still have time to change your career. If you love playing with cars, if you're looking for the right education, if you're looking for placement in companies that they have relationships with Samtech, Blockhead CNC programs, Motorsport EFI, CNC machining. They're located in the Houston, Texas area. They've got a fantastic campus where everybody is like-minded and focused on working on these projects. They accept the GI Bill. Go to samtech.edu to find out more information and listen to Factory Stock Podcast, because we talk about it a lot on there as well. Also, magicdryus.com. Scott Palmer knows, I know, and you should know, that Magic Dry has dived into the sport big time. They've got a great product, the official organic absorbent of the NHRA. It soaks up to 560% of its weight, which is what makes it great, because it's lightweight to carry around. You can carry a lot more. It doesn't weigh as much. Soak up a lot of oil and spills, all kinds of viscosities. Go to magicdryus.com. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. Holidays, think about it. Great gift. You and your buddy, like you get yourself a gift while you're getting him a gift, or her. Great for your sales team, great for your clients. You can set up a race. Go this week, we're going to go drag race at Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more information. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. Marvin Rodak, hot sauces and spice rubs. Everything good. Marvin Rodak. Go to the website, call them 817-924-6821, located in Fort Worth, Texas. Drag racing themed coffee blends of gourmet coffee from around the world, roasted fresh per your order. That's all I have to say. It's unbelievable. Total Seal Piston Rings. TotalSeal.com, the leader in ring seal technology. Whatever it is, they can custom make it. We're talking about the highest levels of motorsports. IndyCar and beyond. Way up there. NASCAR. Drag racing. Top to bottom in drag racing. Whatever you need, they will make it. Total Seal. And everything they learn through racing gets applied to their piston rings for regular cars. Plus, they make tools that are the best in the business. Go to TotalSeal.com. Hanks Defers Metalworking Lubricants, of course, for the machine shop. HusseyPerformance.net, quality copper head gaskets. Big win by Sean Bellemere out there this past weekend. All in the mix. And big thanks to all these guys for making it possible for us to do WFO. All right, let's get into it. Joining us now, the Top Fuel winner from the Mopar Express Lane NHRA Nationals, presented by Pennzoil, Richie Crampton. Richie, congratulations.
Thanks, Joe. That was a pretty cool weekend.
I can imagine. This is a huge, huge weekend for you, and you made the countdown, but now have inserted yourself into the championship conversation after one race. That's mission accomplished after one.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone's trying to do when the countdown starts, is get those valuable round wins and try and win some races when it really, really counts. You know, it counts all year long, but even more so now, of course, that we started the countdown. But no, it's we've had a good car. Personally, I'm not that surprised. Probably not as surprised as many other people are right now that we're running good. We just haven't put it together on race day, but this past weekend in Reading we sure did, and it felt great, man. Connie did a great job, my team, and we were able to have an all Kalitta final. That's what we try to do every week.
I know you guys are always talking very openly about wanting to make Connie happy, right? Like, that's the whole thing. He spends a whole lot of money. He's devoted his life to this. He's our ultimate legend, so to speak. Well, it's been a pretty good couple of weeks for Connie Kalitta.
Yeah, you'd have to think that we couldn't do much more to make him much happier, I guess. But, it's just, that's what it's all about. You know, we all know what he has invested in this sport. 60 years of his life, and he loves it like the rest of us, and he wants to win. So with winning, that makes everyone happy, including him. So that's what it's all about. But driving his car for him and this team that we have, all four of our race cars at Kalitta Motorsports right now are really good race cars, and I think that speaks volumes about just what kind of a team Connie has assembled. And I know every one of us just aim to try and get Connie in the winner's circle as much as for ourselves, but for him too. So that's what it's all about. We've got 5 more races to go with all 4 of our cars at Kalitta, and surely, hopefully, one of us is going to be knocking on the door to get that big trophy, whether it be me, Doug, JR again, or Langdon. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
First round, you had to go up against Dan Mercier, getting his feet wet in the sport. Ran a 73.3, so a strong run, pretty much in line with everybody except for the John Force Racing cars. And, Kurt Elliott, and I know, he's listed as co-crew chief, but Connie is also listed as, the guy who makes the calls. That was a very, I don't want to say conservative, that's not right, but like measured, right? Measured run. Like it was interesting to watch through eliminations, racing the situation as opposed for swinging for the fences, which is what wins championships.
Yeah, I feel like Kurt and Connie take a pretty close look at everything round by round and make a very well-educated, bunch of decisions as to what they're going to try and run. And it brought us some round wins this past Sunday, of course, but Top Fuel's tough. It's really tough at the moment. All the drivers are driving so well, and we're not taking anyone lightly, including Dan Mercier there in the first round. But we've got a good race car, and it seems like Connie, with Kurt Elliott's help, they've just really got their finger on the pulse with their race car, and they've got it really predictable. And for me as a driver, that's really exciting, because you go up there knowing that you've got a really good shot at winning each round, and you've got a fast race car underneath you. And at the end of it all, you don't want to let your team down. You don't want to let Connie and Kurt down, but just go for it. And that was kind of my mindset the whole day on Sunday.
Second round, you go up against Antron Brown. You mentioned your mindset. I kind of feel like it's Torrance versus the field, in that we all know he's the favorite this year and been the measuring stick for everybody for the past couple of seasons. And when he goes out first round, it's an opportunity for everybody. Like, who is going to get max benefit out of the opportunity of Torrance not going to the second round, right? Max points. You were able to do that. So that's something people were buzzing about. Like, all right, Cap goes out. Time to make some hay.
Yeah, I think it kind of, it was a bit of a free-for-all when the Top Fuel dragster that's been dominant for a lot of the past couple of years goes out in the first round. That being said, I think that the whole entire Top Fuel field are coming around just like always when this time of the year starts to hit. So it was surprising to see that both Torrance cars go out in the first round, but we just know what it's like out here, and that can happen to any of us. And I guess the law of averages says you can't win them all. So as you said, it's when that happens, and there's a bunch of 14, 15 other cars that are going to try and contend for the win that day, and you better make the most of it. And fortunately for me, Connie and Kurt and my DHL team, they did it for me. They gave me the car I needed, and we were able to get that win. And to have won 2 races this season, it was pretty cool, considering them Torrance cars have soaked up quite a few of the trophies to date. But we'll take it, and we're going to keep trying to do it some more here in the next 5.
Second semifinal against Brittany. They say, you need a break every once in a while. You need a break. And I guess that might have been your break. We don't know what would have happened to her on track. But Grubby saw a leak, pulled the plug, didn't want to send it because it would have been a dangerous situation. And, you guys smoked the tires. Very consistent lights, by the way, 85, 87, 84, the first 3 rounds of racing. But when you found out that they weren't going to run and you were going to have a solo shot, what was your thought? Like, excitement, disappointment, letdown. Everybody always says, oh, you want to race somebody. But in that moment, it meant you were going to the final round.
Yeah, I think I had all of those thoughts in about a nanosecond once the starter come over and kind of signaled to me that I'd be on a single run. We talk about you need a lucky run, at least one of the runs on race day, which obviously that was possibly it for us. But you also you really do want to earn it. As a driver, you want to win that race, and I know the team behind you want to win that race as well, because that's kind of what it's all about. But definitely the notion that ran through my mind as I was staging up to run on a single run in a semifinal during the countdown is kind of pretty rare. So I was pretty excited that guaranteed that I'd be going to the final. At that point in time, I didn't know that I'd be racing Doug. All I know is that all I knew at the time is that we're gaining those points, and of course we'll never know just what might have happened with Brittany's car, but we knew that they were going to be tough. So I guess we pushed a little too hard and spun the tires, but at the end of the day, you just take it how you can get it. I will say that, standing there getting the trophy at the end of the day, that's probably the one thing I regret about the day is that, we didn't get to race 4 rounds heads up and just beat everyone. But that's okay. There's no asterisk next to it, and we come away with the win.
We could add an asterisk if you want, but I don't think it's necessary.
No, yeah, let's just leave it as is. I'm good with that.
Okay. Other side of the ladder, Austin, Prock, and Doug. Doug gets around Austin setting up, Kalitta final round, but that means the team has won. And you guys are a big team, right? This big, family operation, Kalitta Motorsports, work hard, play hard, that whole deal. But, someone's got to go out and take the Wally, and it's going to be a 40-point swing. We always talk about those final rounds are a 40-point swing. If you lose, you don't get the 20 that the other guy gets. And you and Doug are in championship competition, and now both right near the top of the points. So it was important to go out and win the race.
Yeah, and, it was a win-win situation having 2 Kalitta dragsters in the final there for everyone that's behind us. But, no team orders, and we just kind of went up there and ran our race like we'd been doing all weekend. And I kind of knew in my mind that Connie and Kurt were going to give me a car that was probably going to run another low 370, which it did. And then I knew that Dougie was going to be an animal wrecking the Christmas tree like he always does, and probably going to have a good, fast race car underneath him. So definitely, you want to win every final round you're in, and so I had a ton of confidence going into that round. But on the other hand, too, I knew what we were up against with our teammate over there, and to have seen that win light come on in my lane was pretty special. I've got to race Doug in a couple final rounds now, and but it's cool to win, but it's kind of there's kind of a downside to it too, where I really want him to be able to contend for the championship this year as well as much as me. So I think he's still in the hunt. Obviously, he's a points leader now, and we're going to keep digging and see what we need to do to keep moving our way up the ladder. But at the end of the day, I guess it was probably the best possible scenario where, win or lose, Dougie was going to come out of there as the points leader, and I was able to gain some valuable points and get to mid-pack instead of kind of being on the lower end of that top 10 list. So it was all good things, and again, just a really impressive day for me. Gave me a lot of confidence going into St. Louis and the other races we have coming up here, and I think Connie and Kurt are going to give me the race car that's possible of doing it, and I feel like it might end up just being up to me to hold up my end of the bargain and get the job done.
The position that every driver hopes and dreams to be in. You are in it. You're now fifth in the standings, but only 54 points behind Doug, who is the leader. It's Doug, Brittany, Steve, Antron, you. And it's this is the countdown. You're right in the middle of it. By the way, Doug, very happy on the day. He got a photo with Larry Holmes. And after that, I think it was all just icing on the cake.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to say, it was pretty cool to see that Larry Holmes come out to check out a drag race. Man, that guy's a legend. But yeah, so it was all good. I guess the shininess of our race weekend is kind of wearing off, and it's time to really look at everything and get ready for the next one and try and do it again.
10 wins. You and Connie are now tied. That was surprising to me. 10. I know the sport was different way back in the day. We got 24 races, 24 national event wins. It's kind of a grind in many ways. But you've tied your team owner.
Yeah, that's something that I never dreamt of, and honestly never really realized. I think Connie's won a ton more races than that stat might indicate. But as you said, the sport was different back then. And between match races and all the other stuff that Connie has done over the years, whilst it's cool that maybe he and I share that stat right now, it still doesn't mean that I'm anything like our fearless leader, Connie. Man, that guy's just a bad dude, and it's so cool to drive the race car for him, and his experience and the way he kind of goes about stuff, and the confidence that he has in his race car right now is really cool. But yeah, coming from the middle of nowhere in Australia, I dreamed about maybe one day winning one top fueled race in the NHRA Nelly series, but to have won 10 national events now, that's something pretty special. Hopefully that's not the last, but you never know how long it's going to be till you get another one, if you ever will. So it's a nice round number if I never don't.
But to me, what's really interesting and I love about what you do is that here you are in this position of glory, winning the championship, winning the first race in the championship, elevating yourself, all that. And then, you get back on Monday, whenever it was, and it's back to work in the Morgan Lucas chassis shop, right? And everybody needs to know Richie is talking to us as he gets ready to go out for his lunch break. And he's going to go have a bite somewhere and then go back and work on chassis stuff, whether it be dragsters or otherwise. I think you could probably not do that if you wanted and just be like star driver, do stuff for DHL. I don't know. You know better than I do. But I respect the heck out of that, Richie, that you want to go in there and keep, developing your craft that is like kind of a parallel line to your driving.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, it's probably not that common with many other people that we race against nowadays. But for me, it's kind of what I enjoy doing. Kind of I guess a bit of a workaholic a little bit, but I'm kind of committed to doing what we set out to do here with everyone at the Lucas Fab Shop, and I'm very grateful and fortunate that Morgan and everyone that I work with here at the Fab Shop kind of allow me the time to go away and race, because in most weeks I'm only here for probably 3 days at the most sometimes, particularly through the summer. So I'm gone a lot, but when I'm home, we hit it hard and we try to still produce good race cars, which we're doing right now. And we're just, I'm not trying to get too far away from the tools, but I could absolutely step away from this stuff, but it's kind of my choice to try and do both. And whilst it's working out on both sides, I'm going to continue that. So it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it.
And you're building cars that are competing against you, trying to beat you. I think there's something to that also. That's a kind of a special thing.
Yeah, well, I kind of try and block that out. When the helmet goes on, it's just time to race.
There you go. Richie, thank you very much for coming on WFO Radio Podcast. Appreciate it. I say it all the time, man. You got a nose for winning the big ones, right? First race of the countdown. That's a big one. There are stats about the guy who wins the first race. Goes, you got a leg up on the competition for the championship. You made up a ton of ground on the competition this weekend. This was a huge, huge victory, but only time will tell exactly how big it was, and we'll find out in Pomona. Good luck in the remainder of the NHRA countdown. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll see you out there in St. Louis for the AAA Midwest Nationals. Congratulations on this victory.
Okay, Joey. Thanks a lot, man.
Richie Crampton with us here on WFO Radio Podcast, NHRA Nitro. Click subscribe, write a review. If you're a fan of Richie, consider sharing the show with your friends because he is going to be in the mix for the championship. Once again, Doug Kalitta, the leader, 33 up on Brittany, 47 up on Steve-O, Antron Brown, 53 back, Richie, 54 back, Mike Salinas, Austin Prock, Leah Pritchett, Clay Milliken, all within 88 points of the lead. Billy Torrance, 148 out after that first round out. So Top Fuel is going to be a barn burner. Like, what's going to happen? We don't know. And that's what makes it so exciting. A lot of different storylines, a lot of different angles. For me, I think that the Capco story is still the story of the whole deal. And I want to lay it out there. First of all, you've got the emotional support for a Doug Kalitta. Doug wins Indy. Maybe this is Doug's year. Maybe this is the year he wins the championship, and maybe that monkey that was on John Force's back will jump off Doug's back too, and he'll be the champion. But there's no doubt that Steve Torrance and the Capco team still have to be viewed as the favorites. They have to be viewed as the favorites. The only difference is now they have to race from behind. And what will happen? And that's what makes it entertaining. There are certain teams that are just dominant, and they go out and they crush you, like Capco did last year, and they crushed everybody. They won 6 races. It was never really in question. This year, now they just had a first round out. They've been served a negative moment. How will they deal with it? What if ... in St. Louis? To me, that's the entertainment of the countdown. And I know some people are like, oh, it's not supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be racing, and whatever happens, happens in dominance. And I think you get fans and you get sponsors and you get people watching because things are entertaining. And the best of the best, can they come back down 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th? Those kind of moments. And so now we're going to see that. Richie, Kurt Elliott, that team, led by Connie, just 54 points out of the lead, right in the middle of the mix with 5 races remaining. And honestly, now it could go in any direction. Clay Milliken loading up on the starting line, getting after Steve, taking him out by a couple of thou. Austin Prock. Who's going to win it? That's what makes it interesting. How will the spoilers play in? That's what makes it interesting. Thanks to Richie for coming on the show. And just to elaborate for a second about his, working in the chassis shop. He's not, punching a time card, right? He's creating artwork in a different way. I'm not talking about paintings. I'm not talking about sculptures. But I'm talking about, if you've seen any one of these chassis or good chassis work, you know that in a way it is a work of art. Someone has dreamed it. And they've used their mind, their skills, their hands to create it. And they're not all the same. And obviously the crafts and the creations that are coming out of that Morgan Lucas Fab Shop where Richie works, I'm sure he gets, and you could tell right there, as much satisfaction from doing that as he does from turning on wind lights in the DHL Top Fuel Dragster. I think that is cool that he's got that. And I'm a little envious, man. I wish I could do something like that. I can't do anything like that. I got nothing. All right, everybody, we're going to have more interviews over the course of the week. WFO Radio Podcast. Click subscribe. Hopefully write a review right through the countdown, all of them. We're going to catch up with Jack Beckman. We're going to catch up with Jason Line. We're going to catch up with Jerry Savoy, Alan Reinhardt, of course. And it's all brought to you by these people. Total Seal Piston Rings. The leader in ring seal technology, they have tools as well, but whatever the application, custom or otherwise, whatever you need, they can and will make it. They've got cars in IndyCar, NASCAR, all across, all motorsports. Total Seal piston rings. MagicDryUS.com. You got a race shop, you got a fab shop, work in a factory. Magic Dry is made of coconut. It's lighter, it's better, it's easier to carry around. All of these things, MagicDryUS.com. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. Holidays are coming. I know I'm getting out a little bit in front of the holidays, and I have been for a while, because I want you to be thinking about this. When it's time to get that super gift for somebody super in your life, send them to drive a dragster, the Dragster Adventure, somewhere in 2020. They move all around the country. It's going to be somewhere close to where you are, unless you're in Australia in the middle of nowhere. That might be a little tougher. Then you got to come to the States, that's all. FrankHawley.com. Call Frank. Tell him you heard about it on WFO. Also, Supercomp, Super Gas Licensing, even an alcohol funny car. You could do that. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. Marvin Rodak, my buddy. We're headed down to Texas, AAA Texas Fall Nationals. Marvin Rodak. Go to the website. Check it out. But give him a call is the best way to do it. 817-924-6821. Hot sauces and spice rubs. But the best is the gourmet coffee, roasted fresh per your order. That's what makes it the best. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. All right, you just heard Richie. Richie did not go to Samtech, but the talents and abilities that he has acquired were learned over time. And there are people that go to the engine shops and machine shops that have the same feeling of satisfaction that he has. Passion. You can develop that at samtech.edu. Motorsport EFI tuning, blockhead CNC programs, work on actual race cars, placement with actual race teams, people in the biz, CNC machining, all of these things. Plus, they're good. They've got the GI Bill going on. Go to samtech.edu. Hangstafers, metalworking lubricants for that said machine shop, fab shop. Their cutting lubricants help your tools last longer and surfaces be better. Check out Hangstafers. Drag Racing Edge Magazine, HusseyPerformance.net, and EV3 Drag Racing. Thank you so much. All right. Keep your eye on the WFO Radio app, push notifications. More recap from the Mopar Express Lane NHRA Nationals presented by Pennzoil. Maple Grove was awesome. I will tell and share some stories from along the way. Remember, the WFO t-shirts were out of control. Everybody wearing their WFO Radio t-shirts. I saw several. What does that mean? Like 5. I saw 5 people. That's a lot, man. So you see a bunch of race fans wearing their WFO t-shirts. Folks at NitroFishRacing.com were surprised. They're like, we're selling a bunch of your t-shirts. Way to go, guys. Way to go. WFO. All right, we'll be back with more, so stick around. More WFO Radio interviews to come.
WFO! The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Your education. What are you going to do with your life? That is what it's all about. And samtech.edu can help you figure it all out. The School of Automotive Machinists and Technology always says start your education at full speed because they will get you in, get you started, get you learning rapidly. The school is located in the Houston, Texas area. They've got a great campus. They're always expanding. But most importantly, their relationships within the performance industry is what sets them apart. We're talking about block programs, head programs, CNC programs, motorsport EFI tuning, all part of Samtech. They can even help persons that are eligible under the GI Bill. Go to the website, samtech.edu, or call 713-683-3817. Would you rather do something you love as your job? I know I would. samtech.edu. We're talking gourmet coffee. We're talking hot sauces. We're talking spice rubs. We're talking everything good at RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. Marvin Rodak, been doing it since the 70s. Figured out that life is better with great coffee. And he's so right. 817-924-6821. Call Marvin He'll roast up some coffee fresh for you. Throw in some hot sauce, some spice rub, and you will be loving it. Hit him up, RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. The one thing that top drag racing teams agree on is Hangstifers.com. Hangstifers metalworking lubricants are going to make you more efficient in the machine shop. It's going to save your tools, it's going to improve your surface quality, and it's going to make you quicker and more efficient. Go to Hangstifers.com to find out more information. Hangstifers metalworking lubricants since 1937.
WFO Radio is brought to you in part by Extreme Velocity 3 Drag Racing. Download for your mobile device. Win your way on the show. WFO.
This is WFO Radio.